Hey everybody, welcome back to Mini Bike Mike. So today we're not doing anything with a mini bike. So if you are a regular subscriber and you're here for the mini bike stuff, this may not be that exciting for you, but hopefully somebody down the road finds this video useful. And so I'm just trying to add some more content to the channel, so I thought I would film it. I've got a Kawasaki Mule Pro-FXT. Side by side or UTV, whatever you prefer to call these things. And we use it around here on the property here at home. I'm in my home garage. I'm not at the shop, obviously. And pretty handy little rig. It has a dump bed on it, but it's a manual dump bed. You have to physically chuck it up yourself. And for me, that's not too bad, but my wife uses this she uses this rig more than I do, actually. And if you don't have anything, if you don't have the weight distributed correctly, that bed can be kind of heavy. Hell, it even empty, it's heavy. So for Christmas, I picked up a KYB, what do you call those things? Actuator, electric lift for it that I need to get installed. It's warmed up a little bit. We're now toward the end of February, and it's a decent day, so I'm going to work here on my garage, and hopefully I've got tools here at home to do what I need to do here. But I'll bring you in and show it to you, and get you a little bit closer to tell what I'm looking at. This is a really cool little rig. It's got 2 seats, and the bed can extend. So like right now, it's just in the 1-seat configuration. But you can go through a series of doodads, and this roll bar and the back of the seat slides back, and then this is the seat bottom folds down, and so you actually can haul up to 6 people in it. We've got it in the bigger bed configuration right now, but anyway, so here's what I picked up. This is the kit that goes with it, the bed lift kit, Mule Pro. They say it takes approximately 90 minutes. These are all the parts. That's the electrical gizmos, bracketry, and this is the lift itself. They even give you the zip ties, and they give you this. I don't want my camera to pick up that QR code thing. I don't know if it would in video. It might just do it on camera. But anyway, this is the only instructions they give you, and the instructions are to take that QR code and then go online and get the instructions. So I did that, and I went ahead and just printed them out so that I would have them here, so I wouldn't have to keep going back referring to it online. Anyway, so the first thing I need to do is I want to turn this dude around and get it more in the middle of the garage. And actually, I don't know if I need to turn it around. Just back it up, move it over toward the middle of the garage. You've got basically a full body belly pan underneath it that needs to come off. And I think I'll actually even take the back tires off because we're going to lift the bed up and be working up underneath the bed. So I think I'll remove the back tires just for ease of getting my body in there. So I won't bore you with that. So we're going to jack this thing up, put it on some lifts, and see if we can't get this installed. All right, as you can see, I've only jacked up the one end. I think that's going to give me plenty of clearance. I didn't feel the need to put the front end up. And this belly pan, I thought it was all one piece. It actually, whoa, how in the world do I get red lights? There we go. This is about center, and you can tell there's a break right here. So we need to take off this. We can leave the front part, but this back belly pan, which is the same belly pan I think you have to take off when you change the oil and so forth in it. This unit's fairly new. I'm not even to an oil change yet, so although while I've got it off, I wish I had the oil and filter to do that. But anyway, and it looks like it's just Phillips type heads. So I'm going to yank that off of there real quick. All right, so I've got all the hardware out from underneath. And that is the belly pan from underneath the vehicle. And the very first instructions, the very first thing you're supposed to do is you got to cut a couple access spots out of this belly pan. It says using a, what's it say? Use a Dremel or something like that, with a Dremel or a similar tool, it says down here. So we've got to cut that notch out, and it says it's pre-marked. And that's going to be on this corner that has this little half circle here, and it's going to be in this area. And they are correct. It is pre-marked for you. I was hoping that would fall down in there. There is actually, sorry to step in front of the camera. See that line that goes around? That's the area that we're going to cut out. And I've just got one of these rotary tools. All right, so got that, and I think all that is, it's there's a lower bracket that holds the lift actuator thing. Then that this clears that bracket. And I think the next thing is, there another hole that we need to cut out? Okay, and then it says, mark and trim an oval shaped cutout on the left rear mudguard using a Dremel or similar tool. Okay, I believe that's going to be up underneath the bed. That's going to be in this section. That's where the lift sticks up through. So I need to lift the bed. You have to open up the door. I don't know if you guys can see it. There is a latch on both sides. So this latch right here, you have to take that loose. And I've got to go get the one on the other side. That. Now we should be able to, uh-oh, don't want to do that yet, lift the bed. Now the bed's not going to stay up on its own. So I'm going to have to figure out something to hold that bed up. So while we work on it. So let me figure that out. Be right back. All right, you might not be able to see it, but I just used the my jack handle and used it as a prop underneath to hold the bed up. Now this next hole that we need to cut out is in this section right here. So we need to basically cut this whole top part of this out, and that's for the lift to stick through there. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing underneath there that you need to worry about. I know somebody's going to say, we didn't measure it or anything. Nope, I sure didn't. We just cut it out. All right, so I think we're done maybe with that tool for now. And I think the next step, it actually talks about removing the original brake hose clamp and replace with the provided brake hose clamp. So I've got to figure that out and find that clamp and see what it is that they're talking about. All right, so when it talks about the brake line or brake hose, they're talking about this steel line right here that runs along the top of the frame. And there is a clip right there, covered in all the plastic stuff I just cut off. But anyway, that clip needs to be replaced with the clip that they provide. And I'm guessing it's to provide clearance between the brake line and the frame, because there is a bracket that mounts, that sandwiches this frame right here, that holds the bottom part of the lift. And so I'm assuming, we'll find out in a minute, but I'm gonna guess that that's to lift that, because there is no gap between that brake line and the frame right now. So I'm gonna take a pair of snips and see if I can't side cut, see if I can't get that up out of there. Hopefully that, oops, sorry, that will push down in the hole, and then the line will clip into the top right here. As of right now, I'm a little confused on why you needed to change that brake line little bracket, but maybe we'll figure it out here in a minute. So the next step is to take these two brackets and sandwich the frame. Down here at the bottom, there are a couple spacers that must be the same width as the frame that the bolts will run through. This little notch right here, that sits on top of the frame. So it's not like this goes underneath that brake line. It's gonna go something like that. The brake line will be running through this gap. Not really understanding why you have to do that, but it's gonna be hard to film underneath there. Basically, I'm just gonna hold those two pieces up, run some bolts through them. You tighten it down loosely so that you can adjust it, be able to move it once you've got the actuator, when you've got all the final assembly, then we'll button it down. But I'm gonna go ahead and put these on, and then I will bring you back and show you what it looks like when I've got it on the frame. So that's that bracket installed, sandwiched on the frame. Like I said, it's loose, so it's hard to do it with one hand, but I've got it to where I can move it back and forth if I need to make the final adjustment. Obviously, the farther you push it this way, maybe the less height the bed gets. You know, you want to have it, you want to get your max height by having it probably closer this way, but we'll figure that out when that time comes. All right, let me take you down below. So you can see there's those spacers. It just sandwiches the frame right there. So this next section is where it looks like this job gets to be a pain in the ass. So I'm working up underneath the bed, and they provide you with this bracket, and this is where the lift will mount on this end to the bed. So this bracket has to go right here. So you've got 2 holes to drill here, 2 holes, a hole, and 2 holes here. And I believe the way they have you installing it is with like the nutsert things where you, let me go grab one real quick. Bear with me. I'm talking about these doodads. So I've got to drill, I got to mark, drill roughly a a little over a 1/2 inch hole. I've only got a 1/2 inch drill bit, so I may have to waller it out. This gets pushed in the hole, and then when you tighten it up, it's kind of like a rivet. It squeezes it so that it won't come back out of the hole. It pulls it up and goes that route. So that's going to be the biggest pain in the butt of this whole deal. And this side isn't too bad because you're working on the, here on the outside, so you can actually get to things. It's going to be that other side because they actually have you mount the bracket on that side from the inside. So that's going to be a chore. Now, obviously, I got to get these holes pretty close in the right spot. So everything will line up right. Sorry if I'm blocking your view or... Uh-oh. Don't let my prop fall out over there. I don't know, it might have been easier to bring a welder home and just weld that in place. Huh. Well, that's odd. The frame has 2 holes here. You probably can't see it where I was just pointing. There's already holes right here and right here. And the same down here. No, that doesn't line you up at all with the, it's got to be over. I think the idea is to try and give this, where that notch is cut out, trying to give that some support also. It's a pretty heavy plate. Yeah, that's where it goes. Huh, I wish they'd have put those holes over there. I mean, they line up perfect. Oh well, it is what it is. So I gotta do some drilling, guys, and see if I can get these holes in here. Wish me luck on getting all that to line up right. Okay, told you a little bit wrong. So for these 3 bolts, because the frame is hollow, you just use a bolt and then reach in to try and hold the nut. And that's how those go. Now, the other 4 are where I've got to drill and put the nut cert thing. So I went ahead and got it in place here. I'm going to try and use the bracket itself as a template to drill those holes. So we'll see how that goes. Well, hopefully you can see I've got 3 of these nut cert things in. I'm on the last one. I don't have the right tools for this, guys, not here at home. I wish I had an impact or something to drive that up in there. I'm using a wrench and a ratchet, and it's working. I'm hoping these holes are lined up. If they're not, they're not. Here's the piece of my advice to anybody who has. If you have a couple buddies to help you with this, I'd grab them. If I had to do this all over again, I'd unplug the lights and I would pull that pin on each side and I would take that bed off and flip it upside down, and it would be much easier to do this job if, working from the top of it than having to work up underneath there. And the one that goes on that side is going to be even more of a pain in the butt, but I'm going to get it done. So I got to, basically the way they've got you doing this is they just give you another bolt and a nut that is bigger than the bolt, And so the bolt doesn't tighten down on the big nut, and you're just working it up there and squeezing that little brass insert in that hole. Now the chances that I've got these to line up is going to be slim to none, but we're going to see how it goes. All right, let me go find a bracket. Well, I'm not really sure how it happened, but I think actually everything lined up. Awesome. Boy, I am really dreading that other side. I don't think I'll film that, do anything on that. I'll just get that knocked out. Let's move on to what the next step is for the cylinder. The next step I'm going to do is install the wiring harness. It comes all wrapped up and plenty of wire. We'll throw that over that way. It's got a couple relays. Now, unfortunately, one of my relays, the mounting tab broke off in the bag. Shouldn't hurt the relay. I'm going to mount it. There's a hole right here in the frame, and I'm going to use one of these self-drilling screws. It won't actually need to drill the holes, but it should be the right size. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to get my drill in there. I'm gonna have to back up and punt. I'm gonna have to go get a little ratchet to do that. Perfect. And for right now, I'm just going to zip tie the other relay to it to kind of hold so it's not flopping around. I'll keep an eye on it. If it acts like it's going to be a problem, I'll get another relay, or I'll save that piece. We may try and super glue that on there or something. Okay. Now, the next thing I need to do is, so it's got a plug that the plug from your actuator thing, the lift thing plugs in, so you can plug that in. And I'll wind up zip tying this all to the frame. That's got to move some, so you don't want to, we'll give it some slack. And all this I'll run and zip tie. That goes over to the battery. The next step is the switch. And I think I'm going to cut a small hole in the plastic here, just underneath the seat. So it'll be on the front of the seat that you can just reach in, open the door, hit the button, and it will hopefully lift it up. So I'm going to do that. The wires are numbered 1, 2, 3, top to bottom, 1, 2, and 3. Try and pull that off without pulling the connector off of the end of the wire, which I tend to do. Okay, so now I've got to mark a small hole, rectangular hole in the plastic up here, and snap that in. All right, I think we're probably too small. Oh yeah, way too small. But I wanna creep up on it. I don't want to get too big a hole, so let's go for attempt number 2. Okay, I'm actually on about attempt number 4. I think I got it. Perfect. Yeah, that feels good. Good. All right, so now to plug those back in. 3 was on the bottom. 2. And then 1. Okay. That feels pretty good. All right, so I'm going to, I got to go to the other side, remove a cover to get to the battery, and feed this down toward the battery so we can connect it and give it a try. All right, so I'm on the other side of the rig. The battery. Oh, there's a clip up here too. Battery's down here, and I need to somehow snake this wire down to that battery. Where do I find a hole that comes through? Oh, there's one right here, but I don't think that fuse will go through that hole. Well, give me a second. I'm going to have to do... Hopefully I don't have to drill a hole. Well, I'll go back to the instructions and see what it says, but we don't have a... I got to find some place to run that wire through to get to the battery. I've got the... So there was a little grommet down here just by the battery where all the other wiring came through, and I was able to fish it down through there. So I've got the negative on the battery, negative, so there's a little bolt here on the positive post where they've got some other things wired that I'm hoping I can take the bolt out without wires going all crazy. Slip that one through and then get it restarted again. Yes. See smoke anywhere? I don't see smoke. So we didn't smoke anything right off the bat. It is fused, so. Okay, that feels pretty good. Well, let's go to the other side, see if we hit the switch, if it will go up or down. Let's see if I can raise you guys up a little bit here. So the cylinder is right over here. My switch is right here. I got nothing. Well, do you think I blew that fuse over there? Oh, wait a minute. We're missing something. What's What's that red wire? There's a red wire right here that's coming out of the harness. I guess we better go to the instructions. I'm trying not to let it hit anything in case it's hot. I wonder what it plugs into. I can't keep it from hitting anything. There we go. All right. Well, I tried to do it without the instructions and that did not work. Okay, it says plug the red wire with the male bullet connector to the brown wire of the vehicle located just forward of the right tail light. All the way back here? Well, that's not a brown wire. Huh. There's a plug over here in front of the tail light. Okay, I guess one of them is brown. I didn't think it was when I first looked at it. All right, let's try that. How can that reach down there and reach there? All right, which one was brown? There's two wires in here. I gotta make sure I get the right one. They got such a sheath on it, I can't tell which one's which. I hate to cut it because it's good and protected. Okay, this one's the brown one. Huh, I wonder what that does. All right, now let's try it. What the key has to be on? I wonder if that relay's bad. We got down, but we got no up. Well, that stinks. Yeah, this relay that had the broken interesting. Well, shoot. That's no good. Yeah, that's no good at all. Well, shit, and I just broke the bracket on that one. Make sure when I put my zip tie on there, I didn't unplug something. All right, well, let me, I may try and swap those relays and see if that makes a difference. Well, I might have found my problem. How in the world did I mix up? There's 3 wires and I didn't get them in the right order. Isn't that something? How did I do that? All right, so this one goes there. And this one goes there. Now let's see if it works. There we go. Hey, it's important that you get the wires in the right spot. Okay, now I'm also curious, does the key kill it? Yeah. So that's what the wire does back there by the tail light. All right, I've got a pin to put in. I can't put it from the back side, can I? Nope, gotta do it this way. Come on. Work with me here. That is one stiff cotter pin. All right. Okay, let's see if it'll go up a little higher to get my prop bar out. That's as high as it goes right there. Yep. Now I can't let it all the way down because the funky way I've got this wire ran, I don't want to smash it on the bed or anything, but oh, that's pretty slick. Okay, so I got to do a couple things. One, I got to put that bracket on the other side over there, like we did here. I've still got to put that on. And I have to tie up this wire, hook these relays. Now that I broke the mounting tab off of there, so I'll just zip tie them up underneath the frame here someplace out of the way. The exhaust is right there, so we may come over this way. There's another down tube over here. I think we'll probably put them on this down tube over here. And yeah, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put that bracket on, clean up the wiring, and then I'll bring you guys back. I don't know if any of you guys are fans of the movie Remember the Titans, but as Petey said, this is zero fun, sir. Zero fun. Well, I've got it all done and thought I'd just do a little synopsis here at the end. 90 minutes is what the manual says. If you can do it in 90 minutes, you're a pretty good mechanic. I'm about 3 hours in, but you know, I was also filming and doing some things. So it probably slowed me down a little bit, but I don't think I could do it in 90 minutes. It would be a heck of a job for one guy to do it in 90 minutes. As I mentioned earlier, if you had a couple buddies or at least one other buddy, I think it would be advantageous to pull the pins on the bed, flip the bed upside down. I think you could do it a lot faster, drilling those holes, putting those nutserts in, doing those sorts of things. But you know, you can't, that's something that's hard to do by yourself unless you've got a lift or whatever, and I don't have one here, but I'm pretty happy with it. Oh, didn't turn the key on. I like it that, you know, it only works when the key's on, I guess. So that's how long it takes to raise it, and it'll be a lot easier for my wife to do that rather than trying to manhandle that thing. So I think it'll work pretty good. So skill level, I think anybody can do it. You want to have some good sharp drill bits for drilling those holes. You don't need any kind of special tools. 17 millimeter wrench and a 13 millimeter wrench, and I use an 8 millimeter socket on that battery post to hook the cable up. Some side cuts or something to cut the zip ties. I use that little rotary tool to cut the hole for the switch and to trim that bottom panel, so you'll need something to do that. But that all, you know, anybody that's going to think about taking on a project like this, they probably have those types of tools. But anyway, thanks for following along. I'll get back to mini bike stuff for you guys who are my regular subscribers. If you've got a Mule Pro-FXT and you need to put a lift on, hopefully this helped you. If you got any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments. And if you like mini bikes, hit the subscribe button too. All right, everybody. See you later. Thanks.